Greetings everyone, Jonathan here. Happy Friday everyone, hope you're looking forward to your weekend, and as usual on Fridays we stop talking about copyright and plagiarism news for one day out of the week and instead shift gears to tech news, in particular one of my favorite topics, web browsers. And today's topic with web browsers is Google Chrome's announcement that version 24, that's the beta version of Chrome, is 26% faster than Chrome 16, and you should laud praise upon it for that. Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm not going to wholeheartedly agree with it. Now, to clarify what happened, the Google Chrome blog recently posted that this little chart, and I'll show it to you right here. It shows that from version 16 to the latest beta, 24, that Chrome's JavaScript performance has improved 26 point some odd percent. I can't actually read the actual point there, but 26%. And that's their way of showing that they're still committed to speed, they're still working very hard on it, and despite wanting to improve stability and so forth, they're also still crunching the numbers and making sure that Chrome is lightning fast. But I gotta ask you guys a question. Do you really believe your browser is 26%, 1/4 faster than it was back then? Now, obviously, we realistically can't remember that, and without downloading version 16 and trying them side by side, I have no real way of testing. But it doesn't feel that way to me, and in fact, many of the people who have been commenting on the story have all said, hey, you know, my browser actually feels slower, what are you talking about? And I think the problem is this. Google Chrome team, with that chart I just showed you, is focusing solely on JavaScript performance, how fast Google Chrome parses JavaScript. And that's very important. I'm not arguing that it isn't. It's probably one of the more, demanding tasks a browser is going to do without simply handing it off to a plugin. I'm looking at you, Flash. But the point of that is JavaScript is just one part of the equation. It's actually one very small part in a lot of ways. And I always get a little upset when I see the browsers battling it out, trying to see who has the fastest JavaScript parsing. And they're always arguing over which benchmark is the best. This is only one benchmark here we're looking at. But they're always arguing which benchmark test is the best too. It's always kind of cute. It's always kind of cute, actually. But the point of this is, I don't believe Google Chrome is 26% faster. I'm not saying it's slower. I'm not saying it isn't lightning quick. But I'm not sure it's 26% faster over its predecessor. And the reason is this. JavaScript performance alone does not make a fast browser. Otherwise, think about it. There would have been, every browser would have been terminally and unusably slow up until very recently, because that's when we started talking about this. But that's not actually what ended up happening. A lot of things make a browser fast, or feel slow, and it's a lot like, the analogy I came up with was, it's a bit like saying that top speed is the only thing that makes a car seem fast. Sure, top speed is important. You do want a good top speed. You'd rather have a high top speed than not. But many variables, especially when applied to the real world, whether it's a track or a street or anything like that, many variables determine how fast a car actually feels. Acceleration, handling, cornering, even braking all play a critical role in how fast a car feels. And if you don't believe this, watch a few episodes of Top Gear. You'll notice pretty quickly that the cars with the highest top speeds, those blisteringly fast cars, don't always make it around the track that fast. They don't always beat cars with slower top speeds. So top speed obviously is important, but not everything. And the reason for that is that we like to compare top speed. It's the same reason we like to focus on JavaScript performance in browsers, is because it's something that's easy to compare. We look at a benchmark with a browser. If X did it faster than Y, then we know X had faster JavaScript parsing in that test, and that's the end. That's where you end the conversation. Top speed's the same way. If car X has a top speed of 200 miles an hour and car Y has 199, then car X has the faster top speed, and they are better in that category. So it's easier to say X is the faster car, but it really doesn't work that way, does it? Other variables are much harder to measure. I mean, sure, we have like 0 to 60 tests for cars that measure acceleration, but that only tells part of the story. Maybe some cars are better on the low end and not on the high end. Maybe the 60 to 100 is really good on this car, but the 0 to 60 isn't. You begin to get arguments about which acceleration is better, which is more important, and which is better for which situation, and it can become very unclear which car has the better acceleration. Similarly, it's very difficult to measure a lot of what actually is important to making a browser fast. When I switch between two fully loaded tabs, how quickly does the browser paint that web page that's already fully loaded? Is it instantaneous? Or is there like that second of delay? Because that really makes a browser feel slow regardless of JavaScript performance. Likewise, I'm working on a blog post. I'm typing away and I'm going really, really fast. Does the browser keep up with me? Or does it have that weird delay where I'm way ahead of the text and getting further and further ahead? Once again, that's one of my bigger problems with Firefox, by the way, is that I get ahead of it when I'm typing. And that makes Firefox feel incredibly slow, even though it's got great JavaScript performance and is great in other metrics. So, yeah, I'm sure that Chrome has, by their standards, improved JavaScript speed by 26%, but that does not make it 26% faster as a browser. It's just one metric to compare, and it's probably not even the most important one. It's just that the more important ones are impossible to quantify. So think about it. Next time someone says browser X is faster than Y, take a moment, study what they actually mean. Well, that's all I've got for right now. So until Monday, this is Jonathan Bailey signing off.